Well, good day. Ira Epstein. Actually, it's good evening, and it's Ira Epstein with your financial market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for the evening of Thursday, the 10th of July, 2025, time about 6:40 p.m. Central Time. So as we look at the market, you're following through with the stock market rally. You did hit some all-time highs in some of the indices. The market just keeps rallying up. Metals are rallying at this time. For currency markets, not moving much, not much at all. Bonds and notes tonight dropping a fraction. That's all you can call this. And you were down pretty good in the energy markets today, getting a little bit of a bounce. Not an awful lot here one way or the other. When we take a look at what tomorrow's going to hold, first off, I, for one, am very disappointed. The president told us that we were going to get all these letters out. Scott Bessent, he had 3 more deals that was coming. We heard there could be 100 letters. Well, what if we had 22? It's not so impressive, all right? What's holding up the letters, all right? That's the first thing. And you start to not believe in all this after a while. So you wonder what's going on. Get the darn letters out if you're going to get them out. U.S. Treasuries going to update their June federal budget deficit, and that'll come out at 1. And the word is deficit. We know that we're spending more than we're taking it. The question is, are we spending less of more? I don't know. We'll find that out. So let's go to the chart action, because that's what this is all about. When you take a look at the E-mini S&P, if you were to finish right here, you'd have an all-time high close. With tonight, you're up. By the way, you're up for the whole week, 0.6%. So it's been more of a hit and run type market. And this is where pivot points come in a lot in markets like this. When you look at how you're climbing, you can see the gradual ascent, which is nice. It's not a huge ascent where you go straight up and then you got to get these violent corrections. The market is offering spots in if you've taken my enhanced Bollinger Band course. You can say you're making higher lows, higher highs in the market, staying well over the 18-day average of closes, and the upper resistance is now 6,400. Today I'm watching CNBC, and I knew it was going to come. So now the next wave of analysts on today, and there were more than one, 6,800, 7,000. Everybody's lifting their year-end targets as to where this market can be. Because they're expecting a better third and fourth quarter. That's what's going on, even with the tariffs. You have your fully embedded reading. Until that's lost, breaks in the market typically get bought. Close under 79 in this reading, and it's right now at 95. That's when the market can back off on you. Often you'll get that low close before the big break comes. Not all the time, but often. NASDAQ, the embedded reading, is fully at work. Market keeps coming up, not making the all-time highs on the futures just yet. Cash market's doing a little bit different in that, and that's because NVIDIA has been on a tear to the upside. Tonight it closed with a $4 trillion valuation, and I understand the CEO of NVIDIA was meeting with the president today because he's headed, and I'm talking to Jensen Huang, I think it's Yuan, is headed to China. I am hoping that they allow him to sell those chips that NVIDIA has done specifically for the Chinese market. Locking them out is not the smartest move you can make. You want to keep things going. You just don't have to give them our best technology. They're going to get there one way or the other. Why not make them have to use some of what we have? They may not want it, but we'll find out. Higher lows, higher highs, still looking good to me there. Lose the embedded reading, same story that I had before. Now the market that might be, I want to use this with horns on my head, maybe, is coming alive is the Dow. I had told my clients in my morning subscriber, I had them buy some of this if they followed. I don't know if they did or didn't. And I swear we were going, just not working out when we were over here. Were we going to lose the embedded reading? Instead, it's come back. Now you're back into the profit. The question is, can it come up over through here? That's the real thing. Lose the embedded reading. I wash my hand of the idea of being long, and just this wasn't my time. When I look at the Russell, it is this market's time. You've got your embedded reading. The market is alive. You can see it held the first challenge of the 200-day. That's unusual. Normally you get to this Bollinger Band in the 200 and you break down. Instead it came down to it and then went up for a new high, which means this is going to be support in the near term for the market, and another bullish event is trying to develop. Notice how the 18-day average is getting ready to cross the 200. So you have another potential crossover there. It's not the same as a golden cross, but it is important because you're getting the shortest term average for the first time in how long? It'd be a very long period of time here, beginning of the year, crossing that long-term average. And as I told you, this is being bought up, in my opinion, by all these retail traders saying, I can't keep chasing NVIDIAs, I'm not going to chase Palantirs, I'm not going to chase all that. I want to own these others that haven't moved. That's what I think is going on. DAX, you got it for the first time yesterday to the Bollinger Band, and bang, slip back. But you have an embedded reading. I think the pros are going to buy this break right now. And they'll get out if they lose the embedded reading. In T-bonds, I don't see anything. I see a market that's been running the upper Bollinger Band, got up for the first time over the 100 and to that band, slipped back. This is what I thought would happen potentially as we were trading in the Russell. And this is more the action I thought you were going to get. That Russell proved to be much stronger, but we recognized it here, I don't know, 2 weeks ago now. When we take a look at the 5-year note, I see the same thing, just sideways action, nothing at all very exciting. In the dollar index, once you came out of this, that you had lost your bearish momentum, markets often go to the 18-day average to figure things out. Could this market come alive and get bullish? It could. Do I think it will? No. I think you have the tariffs coming at you. People don't want to use the dollar. There's a move against it, move against the U.S. as a whole. I just don't think that's going to be the move that happens. And in the euro, as you know, I've been looking for a challenge of the 18-day average. If you look at today, you got all of within, you got to 117.13 and a half, and the 18, if we take a look, that was the low, got down to 117.19. Bingo. Now the market doesn't have to go down anymore. That's the point. So now the question is, does the market come alive from here and give you the bounce? If you take out the highs of Thursday, today, Friday or Monday, that could be a signal that it's completely over, because if you take out the high of an outside day down, I have a course on that, and it gives you an idea if you have a continuation pattern or the end of a run. British pound is still bearish. Traders on the day chart, I think, are selling at the 18-day average. I told my subscribers this morning that, but I also showed them that the weekly chart has got a very bullish pattern. And when the two fight like that, if you're a day trader, great. That's why I'm going to show pivot points tonight. But if you're a position trader, I'd stay away from that. Then we come over to Bitcoin. I have a breakout. And it's not with what's going on tonight. The breakout occurred today. You broke out of the market first on Wednesday. You closed over the Bollinger Band in the very top part of the quadrant. Today, you closed over the Bollinger Band. If you divide the market into quadrants, the very top part of the quadrant. That's a breakout on my rule. Until you take this number out now, this market on pullbacks becomes a pretty compelling buy. You have an embedded reading developing. So on pullbacks, I think this market comes alive. On the energy markets, all you really did, if you think about it, is you rallied into the OPEC conference, got to the 200-day average in the 18, and you ran into a buzzsaw right there. Same thing happened in the WTI. I don't see a trend. What I had was a bear market rally, keeping the bias, generally speaking, under the 18-day average. The market stayed most of the time. Gasoline, unable to stay so far very much over that 18-day average, but it's a better looking chart. I give the nod to the bulls, not the bears in this market. They're probably buying at 215, but I don't like where their stop is. You probably have to have close to a 600-point risk. It's $2,500. I have better things to do than risk on a futures contract, individual market, one contract, that kind of money. Natural gas, when you take a look, still bearish. Is it going to lose its embedded reading? You can't count tonight, and you can see both numbers are under the 18 level. Both numbers were under 20 yesterday. Both numbers under 20 on Wednesday and the day before. So until this market gets a close over 21, these rallies, just like you're getting, are probably what the pros are selling. They'll come out if that happens, and if not, they'll be looking to see, can you go back to the most recent low, maybe even get under the 300 level ultimately. So that's how I'm seeing that all come together. So as I said, one of the things I think you should look at in markets like this that we're in are the pivot point series I have. And they really look on your chart just this way. You probably have the study inside of your charting software if you're not using ours, but you may not know how to use it. I created a 3-part video series. Shows you how to use it, how to use momentum with it, because I believe in using stochastics with it, and it's for only one purpose: hit and run trading. It is not for position trading. Can you use it? Let's assume you want to put on a position and you're looking to get in. Where would I come in? Can you use the pivot point to help you find that point? Absolutely, be it on the sell side or the buy side. So it's got a lot of uses. Just go to iraepstein.com. Free offers, the pivot points, sign up for it there and we'll get it sent out to you. I'm Ira. You have yourself a great evening. I hope you watch the other videos and I'll catch you in the morning flash. Take care.